Greetings, Dr. Powell. I am Brianna Hall, and I will be discussing my reflection of the Excel for Marketers certification course. Prior to watching the certification course, I made some inferences based off of the certification course's title, Excel for Marketers. Based upon the title, I believe that the content will be centered around marketers maximizing the tools that Excel has to provide. Prior to watching the certification course, I was not really aware of the importance that Excel played in the marketing world, because when reading about marketing, I really didn't hear much about the utilization of Excel unless it was referring to digital marketing. Prior to watching the certification video, I assumed that the content will be shared for more marketers who are interested in corporate or industrial businesses and not so much creative marketing. I also believe that HubSpot will be providing thorough videos with a lot of essential information. And with those videos, there will probably be different scenarios and examples on how Excel could be used in different ways with marketing. Prior to watching the certification video, there were some questions that I asked myself so that I would have it on the forefront of my mind while watching. And the first question is Excel essential for a marketer to maximize profit as well as while spending revenue? And is Excel also, how can I apply using Excel in my career as a creative, as someone who aspires to be a creative marketer? Upon completing the certification, there were some conclusions that I drew. And one of the first conclusions was that I realized that the utilization of Excel helps marketers to organize their data more efficiently and spend money more appropriately. So when watching the HubSpot certification, the instructor talked about importing and cleaning data. So with marketers collecting a whole bunch of information on collecting a lot of information, there could be information in one cell block all jumbled up. But to organize it so that the marketer can clearly see what is being taken in, it could be separate. The information could be separated by semicolons and then put in different columns so that the marketers can properly analyze the data. Doing this, once the marketer is able to clearly see the data, they are able to determine who their audience is and who they should be investing more money in as far as catering advertisements. The data that is usually provided in these data spreadsheets could range from emails, hometowns, zip codes, race, age, and other demographics. And once those specific details about consumers and audiences are laid out, you're able to see patterns And so the consumers who are consistently showing up are the ones that the advertisement and promotion should be catered towards. And then the consumers who are less likely to show up, the advertisements and things of that nature should not be catered towards them. So being able to see this information allows marketers to to spend their money appropriately on the correct form of advertisements, and by knowing who to correctly advertise to. Also, while watching this certification, I learned that marketers are able to see who's opening by utilizing Excel. Marketers are able to see who is opening their emails and things of that nature in a specific time span, and they're able to calculate this so that they're only constantly reaching out to contact the people who are constantly opening their specific emails. So in the end, they're targeting a certain audience and spending the appropriate amount of money towards that specific audience. Having this information laid out, being able to clearly see demographics allows a marketer to utilize personalized marketing. The utilization of personalized marketing allows companies to specifically make content for specific groups of people or consumers, and to cater to a specific group of people, which allows them to spend their money more effectively instead of ineffectively using it by using a specific type of marketing for all groups of people and it not even cater to that specific group of people. The second conclusion that I was able to draw upon completing the personalized marketing course, the second conclusion that I was able to draw upon completing the HubSpot certification course was that I see that Excel has more features than what meets the eye that could contribute to the return on investment with marketing campaigns and advertisements. So when watching the HubSpot certification videos, the instructor talked about adding formulas to the data in columns, and when adding these formulas, you were able to subtract, you were able to add different qualities to be able to calculate your data. And while other than adding formulas to the data, you are also able to sort your data. So you can sort them from larger numbers to smaller numbers, or smaller numbers to larger numbers. You're also able to sort your revenue with who's spending the most money and who's spending the less amount of money, or vice versa, who's spending the less amount of money, who's spending the most amount of money. Content or data is also able to be organized alphabetically. So if you had users who are purchasing from different countries, you are able, like in the video, like the instructor shown, you were able to specifically look at the countries that the audiences are purchasing from in alphabetical order. The data in these spreadsheets are also able to be filtered out, so you can select specific categories. For instance, if I had all genders on a spreadsheet and I wanted to see what gender was spending the most amount of money, then I could specifically click to see only women and see the percentage or the numbers of women who are spending revenue. Or I could click and see the amount of men who are spending revenue. And based on the percentage of the women or men, I can decide as a marketer who we invest more money into when it comes to our product or our service, males or females. You could even use the filtering more specifically on lifestyles, age ranges, location, etc. Another filter that could be used is the number filter. So by using the number filter, you could be able to see who are your top 3 consumers in spending money in revenue. You could also do a range of your top 5 or your top 10. Your top 10 consumers spending revenue. By doing so, it would allow you as a marketer to know who you should cater your advertisement and marketing around, and allow you to invest more money appropriately instead of misappropriately spending money on consumers who aren't spending as much. Also, while watching the instructor, he discussed conditional formatting. And with conditional formatting, these are tools that apply a format to your data based on rules. So it utilizes colors, shading, and things of that nature. So if I wanted to color all of the audience who were ages 0 through 8, it would be able to do that based on the rules that are inputted in. So upon completing the HubSpot certification, there was a third conclusion that I drew. And this conclusion is that I realized that Excel provides marketers with the proper tools to visually explain their data and to put it visual explanations beside numerical or qualitative research. And with Excel, you are able to do this through the utilizations of charts. And so the charts that you're able to use are line graphs, bar graphs, and pie graphs. And utilizing these allows you to compare your different audiences and consumers, or compare different data from your audiences and your consumers, and the revenue and the spending and things of that nature. Also, the utilizations of dashboards is something else that I became aware of while watching the certification. Prior to watching the certification, I had never heard of a dashboard, but upon watching it, I learned that the utilization of a dashboard allows you to see the trends that are constantly occurring within your business, or the trends that you constantly see from your consumers, the mistakes that your firm or your company is making, and the wins that your firm or your company is making. And then from looking at these dashboards, you're able to piece together what is working for the business and what's not working for the business, things or strategies or advertisements that you should keep, and advertisement and strategies that you should take away that could possibly not be effectively working for your audience. So upon watching the certification, I believe that my questions were answered, and I feel more confident about using Excel as a creative marketer and just as a marketer overall. utilizing Excel will allow me to organize my thoughts better and be more strategic in the way that I would utilize advertisement. And it'll also allow me to save money from misappropriately advertising to consumers who do not fall in my audience, or who will not even be one of my consumers, and by effectively marketing to my target market and my audience who are investing the most money and spending the most revenue. And with watching the certification, I realized that even in the type of marketing field that I would like to be in, I could utilize these tools in every kind of way to stay on track and to maximize my profit. Thank you, Dr. Powell, and this concludes my presentation.